To Grace, my future wife, Part 18, March 23rd, 2024, 2:10 or 2:10 a.m. Dear Grace, I apologize for the delay in this letter. It may be my last. I may be ready to move on to my next life, one without Substack, YouTube, and Netflix. A more peaceful life where I sit in a chair and watch hummingbirds fight with the rain. I have one interesting event to report since my last letter. This morning on my trip to the bathroom, I opened the door and the lights were out in the hallway, the first time in 3 years. At first I thought someone shut them off, and then I realized it was the power in the entire house. Luckily, one of the washrooms has a window with enough light. Well, I guess I could have used the light on my phone in the other washroom. It sounded that seemed weirder. The change was almost welcome. The change was welcome. Taking a crap in the early morning light was almost calming, like a bear in the woods. As I returned to sleep, I realized the entire world could be in chaos unless someone knocked on my door and told me. I wouldn't know, and I wouldn't care. A world of chaos is at least interesting. Our current world, Grace, is stagnant, pointless, redundant, for now. I've reached my limit of inputs, Grace. Nothing on the internet interests me. We need another Depp and Heard trial for me to play in the background. Did you watch any of that, Grace? Do you feel like a voyeur into their lives? Did you feel like a voyeur into their lives? I found a court video about a First Amendment auditor, Grace. I'll use it as my background noise while I attempt this last letter. Thank you for reading these letters, Grace, but I think we both know it's time to meet in person. I realize this sounds like a line from my movie idea, but it's not. I can't write that movie idea anymore, Grace. Not alone. It's not enjoyable. I did have an idea, Grace. Universal basic protection. Instead of creating universal basic income, how about a system where everyone's basic human rights are protected for their entire lifetime? How is this different than universal basic income? Good question, Grace. I have an answer. It's long and complicated. I'll bore both of us if I continue. I need a new movie idea, Grace, not one about us. Any thoughts? I've decided to attempt part 3 of a different movie idea, Grace. You may have heard it, or you may have read it. The Immortality Salesman. I've done part 1 and part 2. I asked ChatGPT to give me a psychological profile of Dave the Alien, Grace. He's a complex character with multifaceted motivations and behaviors. As the main character in The Immortality Salesman, he presents a mix of traits that shape his psychology. Firstly, Dave exhibits a profound sense of detachment from humanity, likely stemming from his alien origins. Despite inhabiting a human body, he sees himself as fundamentally separate from the human experience. This detachment manifests in his willingness to offer immortality to humans in exchange for their life stories, viewing their experiences as commodities rather than intrinsic aspects of their identities. Sounds like a dick. Dave's offer of immortality reflects a desire for power and control. By holding the key to eternal life, he positions himself as a figure of authority over humanity, dictating the terms of their existence, like a dictator. This power dynamic is evident in his insistence on receiving 100% true life stories and his manipulation of the Earth's population through staged events like sky paintings and YouTube rants. Furthermore, Dave displays a streak of manipulation and deception. Despite claiming to be unable to lie, he demonstrates a mastery of deceit, manipulating the Earth's population and exploiting their vulnerabilities for his own ends. His ability to deceive extends even to himself, as he convinces himself of his own righteousness in his actions. Wow, this guy really is a cunt. Underlying Dave's action is a deep-seated sense of alienation and dissatisfaction. Despite his immortality and advanced technology, he remains unfulfilled, seeking validation and entertainment through increasingly elaborate schemes. His decision to leave Earth and seek a new home reflects a sense of restlessness and a lack of belonging, despite his immense power and longevity. Overall, Dave emerges as a complex and morally ambiguous character, driven by a mix of power, detachment, manipulation, and existential longing. His psychology is shaped by his alien origins, his interactions with humanity, his own inner turmoil, making him a compelling and enigmatic figure in the narrative. Do you think it matches the real me, Grace, without the alien part? I think it's easier to write from an alien's perspective, and while I miss writing our love story, Grace, it's too much. It takes too much energy. It's more than I can write on my own. When you're ready to help, let me know. I'll write day and night beside you, Grace. Anywhere, anytime. Now, I'm going back to my fantasy world where a weird alien named Dave fucks with people. I thought he solved everything last time, but like an idiot, I left it opening at the end of the story, almost like I knew this day would come. The Immortality Salesman. Part 2 ending. The movie ends with the same scientist who solved the over-under detection issue working alone on his island to extract the consciousness of the dead via so-called junk DNA, including any direct relatives. Part 3. Jamie, the scientist determined to solve junk DNA, struggles to make progress alone on his island. He considers inviting other scientists to help his research, but first decides to switch sexes to see if the female brain is able to solve what his male brain cannot. Jamie initiates the transformation therapy, and over the next 2 years, Jamie becomes Jam. Like 50% of the population, this is not Jam or Jamie's first transformation. Eventually, society accepted it's the individual's choice and stopped asking, were you ever a boy or a girl or whatever. Most people don't know and don't care. Those who do are not public about their opinions. Jamie hopes during the transformation to Jam, the rush of hormones will produce the solution to his DNA problem. He's wrong. No revelation occurs. Jam continues living in the female form while searching for a solution. 2 years later, Dave, the Immortality Salesman, orbits an unusual and unsuspecting planet. Unusual because the universal translator is unable to translate the languages used by the higher intelligent creatures inhabiting the planet, and unsuspecting as they don't seem to care about Dave's presence whatsoever. Dave attempts to communicate his intentions and offer immortality to the planet, but is unable to connect at any level. Dave eventually decides if he can't understand their language, maybe he shouldn't interfere by introducing immortality. However, he still steals all their stories. He can't understand anything they say yet, but one day the YouTube will figure it out, or it won't. It doesn't change Dave's life one way or the other. As the minds of the seemingly happy residents are probed and downloaded, Dave reflects on his life on Earth many years ago. He enjoyed the experience so much he kept the human body form, mostly for its emotion-to-body connection. He recognizes the rest of the body as a poor design, based on the standards of humanoid life elsewhere in the universe. Humans live like kings on Earth, but we live like flies on other planets. Dave swore never to return to that part of the galaxy, but now he's wondering, maybe they've advanced far enough. Maybe they've advanced far enough in his absence to help decode this indecipherable language. Maybe some smart person on that dumb planet actually accomplished something. Dave remembers the turmoil he caused before he vanished from Earth and suspects it only became worse after his gifts to humanity. Although his chances of a warm welcome are slim, Dave decides to return to Earth. First he waits for the alien mind probe downloads to complete. Once done, Dave considers leaving his trademark figure in the sky, but decides the effect would be lost on the currently uncommunicable planet. Instead, he enters Earth's coordinates and engages his wormhole generator. Dave travels through the wormhole. A week of Earth's time passes as Dave lives in the high gravity created by the wormhole. As the pressure when exerted on his body, the pressure when exerted on his body increases. The pressure when exerted on his body increases significantly. It adds almost 1,000 Earth pounds to his frame. Dave spends most of his time in bed with VR or asleep. He bypasses food intake and limits water to 1 glass once a day. A week later, Dave arrives on Earth. This visit, Dave knows it's unlikely he'll be the only alien on the planet. The other aliens, and maybe even the humans, will be able to detect his ship in the atmosphere, but not its exact location. He's safe if nobody knows who he is and or where he is. The easiest solution for anonymity is phase transformation, but Dave's grown to love his current human appearance and will risk the chance of someone remembering his last performance on the surface. Dave performs a quick scan of every pure human on the planet. His computer locates the loneliest person, a scientist named Jam, on a deserted island. Dave directs his UFO to Jam's island. Upon arrival, Dave finds Jam on the beach, watching the sunset. Dave lands his UFO 30 feet away. Jam isn't alarmed. She calmly stands up to greet her visitor, as aliens are commonplace on Earth. In reality, she's surprised one hasn't visited her earlier. As Dave begins to approach Jam, his ship takes off into the sky. Jam recognizes the being as Dave the alien. Jam, hello. Dave, hello, I'm Dave. I'm Jam, I know who you are, Dave the alien. I guess I came back too soon? No, but you are recognizable. Your face hasn't changed. Jam and Dave shake hands. Jam offers Dave a piece of the beach and a drink of water from her bottle. Sorry, no glass. I'm fine, I'm not thirsty. Who are you, if you don't mind me asking? Jam nervously repeats her name. I'm Jam. I'm researching DNA alone on this island. DNA? Earth doesn't understand DNA yet? How long have I been gone? A long time. You understand most of it. I'm looking at junk DNA. You mean encrypted DNA? Sure, maybe. Unreadable DNA from my perspective. It's encrypted. Are you sure? Yes. Why and how? How? No idea. It's your guess. Why? Why are you trying to break the code? I think it holds our past memories. Our memories of our past lives, and maybe even our previous lives. Our past lives, and maybe even our relatives' lives. Why would you care? Why wouldn't you? Why? Yes, why? What does it change? How does it change your current life? What does it tell you about yourself that you don't already know? Maybe everything. How? Maybe it explains why the planet is not united. How? Maybe all our current desires are based on our past lives. Bullshit, you believe that? It's possible. When is this world ever going to learn? Why did I return? Nothing ever changes. Let me guess, it's still 50-50 about life after death. Even though everyone can live forever in their current body. Basically, Dave shakes his head. Why did I return? Why did you return? I understand what you did in the past, and yes, half the world was glad when you left and have celebrated every year of your absence, but the other half agree with your logic and love you. Any publicity is good publicity? Not really, not in this case. If I was you, I'd stay hidden. But now you are back. Why? Why did you locate me? I wasn't looking for you specifically, although it does seem like you may be the person I need. I have a language my universal translator can't decipher. Maybe you can help. Take your mind off DNA for a few days? I'll stop here for today, Grace. If this is my last letter, Grace, know that I love you, and I have no idea why. However, I've seen you in my neighborhood before, and if I see you again, I'll be forced to ask, why? If I have the guts to talk to you in person. Thank you, Grace. David.